Hi everyone, welcome to Ansible series. So we are going to learn Ansible, basic definition of Ansible, why we need Ansible, why it is one of the important DevOps tool in the today's world, right? I mean, it's in demand right now. I mean, from the DevOps tool perspective. Then we will also try to understand the advantages and the features of Ansible in comparison to the other configuration management tool available in the market. Then we will try to also start and cover the Ansible architecture, which is very fundamental, but it's important to start with the fundamental so that we can cover the installation and then other playbook, scripts, and everything in the next sessions. Yeah. So Ansible is an open source configuration management tool and it's owned by the Red Hat. In today's market, today's scenario, it's a hot tool, right? Everyone want to do their configuration, their complete set of deployment over the Ansible, right? And there is a feature in Ansible that they can configure any resources on a server through its playbook and even the ad hoc run scripts, right? We will try to understand the meaning of the playbook, as well as, if you see, I have highlighted one word that is called idempotent, right? Basically, this is being used by the Ansible modules, right? This particular used by the Ansible module, which will check whether the desired final stage has already been achieved. Let's take one example. Let's suppose you want to install Apache on a server, right? But there is no point that every time when you're going to run your play script, right, or the playbook, right, it's not important that you have to install the Apache once again, right? So what exactly this independent features, that what the Ansible modules does in the background, that it will check the final state whether this things has already been achieved or not, right? And it exit without performing any action if the state has already been achieved, right? So technically, you are saving some time over there. The thing which is already installed on your server, there is no point at all to install it once again or go and do the same set of repetition steps once again. Yeah. So that is the basically the meaning of idempotent. Yeah. Next is that Ansible manages complex and the cumbersome manual tasks and orchestrate them by automating the process. That is definitely one of the important features of Ansible, right? Other advantages and the features, if you see on a very high level, it's very simple. Underline playbook scripts, if you say, right? Playbook is basically, for now, try to understand the playbook as a scripts, the way you write a shell scripts basically, which written in YAML, right? Syntax is very simple. I mean, you don't need to put a lot of effort. It's very quick. You can learn this YAML and it's very good for the beginners, right? Definitely, it's a very powerful and the versatile tool, right? Most commonly used to automate the deployment and the configuration of the system. When we are saying about the configuration of the system, technically we are talking about the servers, virtual machines, and all the application, right? We will see in the architecture that how this setup is there, from how you do the setups on the master and how the things got replicated on the servers. When I say the server, that is a different host I'm talking about. It's depend upon what exactly the architecture you are following, right? Apart from that, if you see, the life cycle of an application from the development to the deployment can easily be managed by the team if you are using the Ansible. It's quite easy and all. And on the top of that, it is agentless. When I say it's agentless, this means that there is no third party vendor software or agents required in order to install the Ansible. So there is one small topic which we need to understand on a very high level, that it's a configuration management tool, and there is technically two different types of the configuration management tool, which based on the two different principles of the push and the pull based, right? So Ansible is a push based, right? And Puppet is the other configuration management tool which is pull based, right? You're pushing the configuration at one place and in the other place you're doing the pull, right? So Ansible is easy to install and use basically because it's a push based. Let's take an example of what exactly happens in the pull based. So pull based is actually a client server kind of an architecture, or you can say agent and the master kind of an architecture, where you will install the master on one of the servers and on all the other servers you need to install an agent, right? So you install the Puppet server on one or more of the server, and then you have to install the Puppet agent on all the nodes you want to manage. So it's a time consuming process. It's very difficult to maintain tomorrow, even by the project, or if you are a DevOps guy, right? Tomorrow you have to think 10 different items in your plate in order to configure your tools, right? That is not the case with the Ansible. We will see in our next session or next video when we do the hands-on on how we install the Ansible, right? So this is the one important thing that you should know, that your Ansible is basically the push-based configuration. On the top of that, we have the good availability and the scalability. Yeah. Then let's move to the Ansible architecture. Yeah. What is Ansible architecture? Let's say you have an Ansible master over here, right? Ansible master is one of the server. You want to install everything on your master server and you want your things to be replicated on the host machines, right? Host 1, 2, and 3. How you does that? Through the SSH connections, right? So you usually see when you install the Ansible, it will create a file under the folder etc Ansible, right? Where you will see the file like host or ansible.configuration file and all that you will see over there, right? Here you will open the configuration file. You can see that most of the things are commented. We will see in our next session when we see the installation in the real time, right? So this is the one thing for the Ansible configuration where the inventory concepts comes in. Apart from that, Ansible uses ad hoc commands, which is similar like a Unix shell command, right? Let's say Ansible all dash mping. So, right, it will tell you about whether you have a connection of your Ansible master to the host. It's very simple and all that, right? Where M refers to the module. We will, when we write a lot of YAML script in our exercises, we will be more easy to understand, right? But just take an example for now to start with. Ansible all dash mping, M refer to the module. We will see how the documentation of Ansible and all that, and then we will come to know more in detail. Other thing is like the playbook, which I said initially to you, and take playbook like a shell script, right? It's a collective of many commands with a defined logic into that playbook. Okay, let's take an example. I'm giving the name of my playbook like a first playbook. Host is basically a web server. This particular host usually we define under the host file. When I say the host file, what exactly mean? I will define all this IP of host 1, 2, and 3 under this host file, so that whatever the action I will do over the master, the things will be replicated to your host 1, 2, and 3, right? Then it is become, yes, we will come to understand all these variables and whatever the things. And then you are saying to this particular playbook that, hey, go and do this particular task. What exactly you want to do? You are saying name, let's do the installation. I mean, you can give anything over here. That's just a name, right? And then apt is kind of a one package, right? Package installer. And then you are saying, hey, name Apache 2. Apt will take this parameter of Apache 2 and it will start installing Apache 2 on the master. Okay, so this is just a one basic example of the playbook. We will see this in detail with the hands-on session. I'm trying to keep this video short so that you can go and revise and you can directly focus on whatever the set of activity you want to learn. Yeah, thank you for listening this course, right? We will see you in the next session. Thank you.